Hello everyone, welcome back to another multiplayer battle. Before we go on and begin the battle, because it's a very brief one, I want to go over my build. Right now, I have a flame cannon, which is actually very good now. In the very beginning of the game, it wasn't good at all, but now it's incredible. The range isn't great, but that's okay. When they get in close range and they're clumped up, you can get a lot of kills, and it does a lot of splash damage. We're looking at Longbeards. I've brought in quite a few. I don't often do that. Iron Breakers in the very front. They have satchel charges, and that can do a lot of damage to an unarmored foe. We've got Coilers who have great weapons in the back. That way, if they try to flank me, well, we can fight back. I brought 2 Thanes, 1 Runesmith, and 1 Lord. We're looking at 2 groups of Gyrocopters, Slayers on the right flank, and over here on the left flank. And then I have Dwarf Warriors who have great weapons on each flank. And that's really it for my build right now. Tokshin, over here, brought zombies in the very front. We're looking at Crypticals on the front line behind them. We've got a Necromancer, Vlad von Karstein. Over here, we've got a Mortis engine for mass regeneration and all the benefits of that. He brought in a lot of mounted units over here. The Dire Pack, which has anti-large, which will take out any large unit quickly if they flank them. Blood Knights times what? 2? Yeah. Chill Guys, and over here, Black Knights, who are a regiment of renown. And if we go look at our enemies over here, we're looking at a very aggressive Beastman player. He's charging in immediately. He didn't really wait for his friend. I mean, at times you'll find people who will work together. Otherwise, I mean, they might not. Bretonnia brought in a pretty basic build here. We've got Grell Knights times what? 2, maybe? Yeah. 3,000 gold total, or maybe a bit more. I can't remember how much they cost you, but it's quite a bit of gold. Maybe a bit more than that, probably. Razorgore Chariot, a Gore Bull, the King, flying, Peasant Bowman, another Gore Bull, probably with potions too, I don't doubt it. We've got a Trebuchet, Malagor, and flying knights over here, Pegasus Knights and all that. And now we can let them charge towards me. And I will have to go into slow motion quite a bit to kind of show you what's going on. The battle is very quick. There's so much going on so quickly here. If you don't watch it carefully, things go crazy. Here goes my flame cannon right now. Let's go look at the damage real quick. Right after we get to them. And here we go. We're going to watch it in a very cinematic view. They're charging right for it. Oh no. And we got 2 shots right into them, and they're beginning to explode into a orgy of blood. My favorite. They're going away now. I told you, there's a lot of damage, and they're unarmored. Yeah, they were really way too aggressive. You wouldn't want to charge my front line. You would want to make me reposition. They did not have a good build to counter what we had, I think. Not a lot of armor piercing, not a lot to really do anything to me. Here we go again. More shots are going off right now. We keep on shooting. 32 kills already. They're still shooting. I probably should have aimed at a big clump of them, but I mean, they weren't too clumped up. They're going after my gyrocopters right now. There we go. Let's go check it out real quick. And again, you don't want to use your great weapons with your Synagores to charge in on the front lines. I mean, zombies are meant to entangle your foes. That's why trying to charge at them is a really bad idea. You'll only entangle yourself. Over here, we're looking at more great weapons. We're looking at Grell Knights, and over here, more Grell Knights, and even a Chariot. You want to use your entire army in conjunction. If you're not doing that, then you're going to lose. You're going to lose a lot. They didn't really get my flame cannon. I have a Runesmith who is incredible. It's able to buff me up incredibly so. Tokshin brought in some zombies by accident or intentionally to help me out over here. I nearly choked. I don't know why. I probably need water. Satchels are now being thrown. There's a Gore Herd. Iron Breakers again on the front lines defending. They killed a few. They took some damage, but that's okay. Let's go look at it real quick in slow motion. They did manage to do a lot of damage to my Gyrocopters. I mean, they're not really meant to fight Knights, and Knights will win in the air quite a bit. They're very handy for that. And there is a Cygor who will probably end up doing a lot of damage to me. I wouldn't doubt that at all. Malagor brought that in way over here. If I remember right, it probably does a lot of damage. Over here for Tokshin, he's got them all blobbed up. He's delayed, but he'll be here eventually. They're fighting Grell Knights, and they will probably not win because of that. I mean, they do a lot of damage. We're looking at magical damage, and they're very, very strong. A cornerstone of the Bretonnian army. And if you look at my formation right now, I've got a flame cannon, still shooting. They couldn't hold me, and now they're being shot up even more right over here. The Bretonnian player's on the way. For some reason, he upgraded his infantry, which is a really weird choice. Now, the infantry is not meant to be good on its own. It's meant to be used in conjunction with a damsel and your king. Those two can either buff up or debuff your crew big time. Another good shot. Let's go look at it over here. We're holding right now. I'm moving my Slayers in. I'm hoping that maybe we're doing a lot of damage to their Centaurs by attacking them like that. We're moving in right now. I'm trying to make sure that my Slayers are fighting their Gore Bull. I'm trying to have my Corlers right now shoot at their Knights, and I think he forgot about them, maybe. And I have my Choppers now shooting at them. Not doing enough damage to fully finish them off, but we're doing a lot of damage. Okay, let's go check on the battle again. Again, when you're fighting a Beastman player, or Beastmen player, things happen quickly. The Grail Knights are beginning to break. We're looking at Blood Knights now beginning to surround them. The Dire Pack is here. And more Blood Knights and Chill Guards are charging in. They are surrounded. They will not be doing well. I mean, that is not looking good. Not at all. They're done for. That is a lot of gold gone. And then if we go over here, they're entangled by fighting zombies, which is really okay. Crypt Ghouls will probably die quickly to them. But again, not a big deal. Token definitely held them off. I'm looking at my line right now. We've got more on the way. I've got my flame cannon around here somewhere. Back over here, still shooting. If you look at my kills right now, I've got quite a few. 142. We took a lot of damage, sure. They were probably beginning to aim at it, but I mean, I definitely got my gold's worth. The Knights are falling apart. He probably forgot about him, which is, I mean, very easy to do. I don't blame him if he's a newer player, potentially, just because there's so much going on. I mean, look at all of that is going on. They're using Devolve, which is okay for damage, but I use it more now for that leadership penalty. I've been using spells in combination with other things I've been doing tactically. I've used it to actually cause a cascade chain where one unit will begin to rout, and then more will begin to rout because I'm freaking them all out. Now, they are beginning to hit my line pretty hard. I don't have the best infantry here to hold, but we're doing fine enough, and I think I'm busy trying to use my flame cannon to shoot even more of them. We have 3 guns left. They don't have a lot of health left right now. We've got more damage to do, though. We've taken out how many? Nearly 200. Longbeards are over here fighting. Halberds do have armor piercing. I mean, all in all, while they did charge in, they did a lot of damage. I mean, it was definitely a tougher battle. My choppers were usually, or for a time of it, still trying to fight. Oh, these guys were actually upgraded in terms of being veterans, and that might be why they were so hard for me to deal with. I think eventually Tokshin will probably go after their Trebuchet, but I can't remember. I've got my Thane fighting, 35 kills, which is really good. Longbeards are still fighting. They didn't really want to break. I mean, I have a Runesmith back here. I probably should have had him fight a little bit for fun. We're out of ammo for one group, right over here. My Iron Breakers, and they killed 70. Slayers are beginning to move in. We're fighting a Gore Bull, and if they all die, they'll still do a lot of damage. I should have been more on point with my micromanagement, not my finest battle, but it was enough to win. And over here, we're looking at more Knights. I mean, Tokshin, in terms of the Horseman fight, he won it. He won it quickly, and he destroyed them. Though we still do have a fight happening over here. Had they potentially focused on me, they probably would have done a lot more damage. The Britannian player could have potentially hit my Corlers early on. They were allowed to shoot for a long time. We couldn't really get to the Cygor way back here, not until now. And the Trebuchet even got a lot of kills. Wow. Altogether, they got quite a few kills of being allowed to hit me like that. I mean, I was forced to play on the defensive largely. Here's Malagor fighting, and they're actually tearing up my line. I'm beginning to push in even more, though. Slayers are beginning to hit. Gore herds are holding on. We're looking at more Centaurs again. And look at that one hit. Cygors are devastating now. I don't know if they were tweaked, like buffed up or what, but when I use them too, if you have a clustered group, they will kill so many. I've got a Gore Bull now killing my poor Dwarf Warriors who were held in reserve, and are beginning to move in. I've got my Flame Cannon still here. We're still shooting at a few of them. I'm hoping that won't be friendly fire. Please do not be. Okay, it fell short. It's okay. I'm moving in my Gyrocopter to go after that Cygor to help out Tokshin. There's only 3 left in that group, and they have very little health, but we have enough to go do a lot of damage, hopefully, to them. We do have anti-infantry, but not anti-large. He's charging in again with his Blood Knights, who do have anti-large and Frenzy. And they're beginning to make him flee, which is great. Let's go look again. The final moments of our battle. They were getting torn up at every point, though. I mean, they did a lot of damage to me. I will admit that much. I didn't know how aggressive they would be, but they were plenty aggressive. I mean, if I had my Gyrocopters going after the Gore Bulls or the infantry, we could have done a lot more damage. I destroyed their archers pretty early on, but the Knights definitely did counter that. I probably could have used my Slayers more aggressively to go after their Gorbals, but I mean, when they have potions, you can't really do a lot about that. Your goal at that point is to go after their army and kill their entire army, or you're going to be stuck here fighting heroes and an army. Tokshin held on. I'm not a huge fan of Crypt Ghouls. Every time he brings them along, I'm like, oh, Crypt Ghouls, really? But he made them work. Or we'll find out if he did after we look at the actual results of the battle. Over here, I hit more. A little bit of friendly fire. It's okay, though. They're only zombies. They do not matter or count. Zombie lives do not matter at all in here. Because, I mean, they have no life. They're dead. They're undead. Here's a paladin fighting. My Slayers are very few in number 12 left. We've got my Lord, who killed only 4, but I mean, he was here to buff things up. I have my Runesmith now charging in. And we won. They all broke. Okay, I lost 570. Tokshin did not lose a lot at all. He had the majority of his army left. Look at my flame cannon, over 200 kills, and that's really good. You definitely want to bring a flame cannon. I could have been a lot more aggressive with my build. I could have focused fire a little bit more with my quarrelers. The knights really threw me for a loop. If I fought the Beastman player on my own, that probably would have been a different battle. It even would have been different because I didn't have a solid line of infantry. The only thing that I would have changed up would be potentially only one group of Slayers. I probably maybe need another Ironbreaker group or potentially more cannon. But I wanted to try something a little bit new, a Dwarf Hold type build, you know, where you might find a more generic Dwarf army holding a hold, and I liked it quite a bit. We had a lot to support, though. My Thanes were fine, my Runesmith fine, my Lord fine. They were really having a hard time, though, fighting the leaders of the Beastmen, because, I mean, Gorbals are tough. They're going to hit you hard. Okay, let's go look over here at our Bretonnian player. The King, of course, got a lot of kills. Paladins are very strong. His infantry upgraded for some reason, and that's why he held for a little bit longer with them, and maybe why his trebuchet did more damage, but he should not have done that. He should have brought in maybe more Grell Knights. I mean, he would need to win the mounted fight. He didn't use his army altogether. If you look at the Beastman player right now, Gorbals, of course, a lot of kills. Malagor, we took him out pretty early on. I don't actually know why they all broke so quickly, probably because we killed so many men, and they were scattered all over the map, and they weren't fighting together. Not that you always need to, but you probably want to. A lot of Centaurs who did some damage, but I mean, if you look at it, we don't really have all of our heaviest guys on the field anyway, so I mean, they're going to pad with a few kills here and there. And then we're looking at Tokshin. Blood Knight, incredible job. I mean, there was a focus on his mounted portion who did the majority of the damage. I'm sure he would have been able to help me out a lot more, provided that he had a tougher line. We don't know how much was regenerated during that battle, but they definitely did not incur a lot of damage. Anyway, thank you for watching the battle. If you did enjoy it, check out our channels down below, mine and Tokshin's. Don't forget to leave a like. It does let me know that you do enjoy it, and that inspires me to make more content for all of you. Anyway, until then.